A divided U.S. Senate has confirmed Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Political analysts explain what this means for the future.
Early voters enjoy short lines at Staples Center. Hear why people are choosing to vote early and in person.
Tonight on Quarantine Creatives, a USC pop singer who prides herself on genre blending prepares to release her new single.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett will be sworn in tonight as the 115th Supreme Court Justice. I'm Lauren Hebroni reporting from Los Angeles.
And I'm Amanda Ani-Offiong, also reporting from Los Angeles. Our politics anchor, Luke Scorziell, has more on the significance of her confirmation.
Amy Coney Barrett was confirmed to the Supreme Court today by a vote of 52 to 48. Republican Susan Collins was the only senator to cross party lines and vote no on the confirmation. Its confirmation took just 30 days and gives the court a 6-3 conservative majority. With the election just a week away, many are speculating on how she might rule on several upcoming cases. Next month, for example, the court will hear a case ruling on the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Experts I talked with said it's unlikely that the law would be completely repealed, even with Barrett on the court.
In the very unlikely situation that they would rule that the ACA does not hold up at all because the penalty for the mandate was taken away, nothing would happen right away. It just couldn't. So they would say to Congress, okay, Congress, you have to fix the constitutional defect in this, and you have a year to do so.
The controversy over Barrett's confirmation has led some progressives to cry out for reform, including packing the court. Over the weekend, Democratic nominee Joe Biden said that if he wins the election, he will appoint a bipartisan commission to investigate court reform. Several legal experts say that Democrats should be wary of adding new justices to the court.
I would normally think they wouldn't want to do this because it does kind of destroy the institutional, capital legitimacy of the court if you're just adding seats and adding seats. But I think Democrats, after Judge Garland was not even given a vote, are pretty furious about this, right? And so maybe it's possible, but we'll just have to see what the election, what happens with the election.
Changing the number of justices on the court will be a big deal and will take a huge amount of political clout right out of the gate, and could take away the wind in their sails if the Democrats were to take the White House and the Senate. And I'm not sure that they're willing to use all of that political clout on a Supreme Court when they've got some other priorities like climate change and criminal justice reform and healthcare.
With the possibility of a contested election, there is disagreement over whether Barrett should recuse herself from the court if a case comes up contesting the results. Back to you, Lauren.
Early voting has reached record-breaking numbers this year. Nearly 50,000 people cast their in-person votes this weekend in Los Angeles. The Staples Center is one of the locations where you can vote before Election Day. Early voters arrived today at the Staples Center to avoid long lines and crowds.
I voted early not only because of the virus, but at the same time because of the crowd. Seeing how many voters are coming out this year is phenomenal.
So I wanted to come early where there wouldn't be a line because I couldn't stand in a line. And I just wanted to go ahead as an American to get my vote cast. I've had so many cuts to my insurance in the last 4 years. So, it's really important for me to get this vote cast.
Yes, voted today at Staples Center on my lunch break. Very easy in and out. To vote very safe, give you gloves, give you a nice little Lakers sticker. And really easy, free parking. You could vote early, I think all week.
There are several in-person voting centers near campus, including Staples Center, USC Galen Center, Grand Central Market, Los Angeles Trade Technical College, and Wellness Emotional Health and Wellness at Exposition and Vermont. The executive director of the Dornsife Center for the Political Future explains what's at stake on November 3rd.
So a lot of voters are mobilized, not just because they want to support Joe Biden, but because they want to fire the current incumbent. They want to fire President Trump. The nation, based on polling, seems to be saying they want to fire President Trump. But polls aren't always accurate, and so a lot of people feel especially motivated that they don't want to have a repeat of what happened in 2016.
The upcoming election has been a great source of stress for many students. USC is taking action by offering election stress workshops and counseling services to help students cope. We spoke with a student and one of the program psychologists about this new resource.
Like, as a young person, that really puts our future in jeopardy in terms of, what's going to happen with the climate, and was this pandemic ever going to die down, or what's going to keep happening with race relations in even the United States, because it just feels like this is an election that seems to decide kind of our futures. So I just hope that it goes how I want it to. But that's causing me stress for sure.
So coming together and having these discussions about how to thrive during this really trying time, I think is really the main goal. And really, I hope students can walk away a feeling that they've got this, they know how to manage their stress. They're feeling validated and normalized in terms of what their reactions with just the daily stressors are. And we learn from each other in terms of talking about how we cope.
In addition to interactive resources, USC Student Health is offering tips for stress management. They suggest unplugging frequently, focusing on your goals and what you can control, staying connected to loved ones, getting proper sleep, nutrition, and exercise, and creating a schedule to bring structure and empowerment into your daily routine.
Zoom University is the reality for all of us here at USC. For Annenberg student Michaela Stevens, this semester has been a struggle.
I think that my grades are not going to be where they usually are, just because it is kind of hard for me to give it my all when I'm just staring at a computer every second.
And who can blame her? One study found that only 1 in 5 people on Zoom calls are actively listening. And for many students, it leaves them feeling disconnected.
I don't really feel like I go to USC. I just kind of feel like I'm in an online random program.
With registration for next term starting today, it's still unclear if next semester will be online or in person. I spoke to a career advisor on how to navigate the future.
Some students may choose to take fewer classes in the spring semester and spread it out to the summer, for example. That's something that maybe you wouldn't normally do, but if it's a virtual environment and you feel like a full load is too much, spreading it out a little bit so that you're not on Zoom as much.
USC is adding wellness days to the spring calendar to give us a chance to de-stress.
So I think the tone and theme of these personal mental health days are going to be a day or two every few weeks that breaks up the classes with the idea that you would not have to do any work or any classes on those days.
The wellness days will be a chance for us to take time for our own mental health. The exact dates are still being determined. But in the meantime, one way I decompress is by hanging out with my dog, Teddy B. I encourage you to find your own way as we go through the rest of this school year. For Annenberg Media, I'm Caleb Michael.
USC sophomore wide receiver Munir McClain is at the center of a federal investigation alleging fraud related to the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. He spoke about his suspension this weekend, but today McClain's mother said she's not getting the whole story from the university.
Somebody came to you and say, hey, Munir stole this from me. Would you just immediately take the side of one and not listen and not listen to the other? Or would you immediately go report it? How would you handle that? Mm-hmm. And my feeling right now, and I'm not even mad about anything, I just wanted to be taken care of. The coaches came and sat in my living room, right? I let them in and they promised to take care of my sons. Not just one, but two. Okay? Did you lie? Is it really faith, family, and football?
McClain talked about the investigation outside Galen Center on Sunday for the first time since his suspension, which began in September. He was joined by his mother, fellow football players, and local activists who stood in solidarity with him. McLean said, quote, "There seems to be a lot of rumors flying around, but I want nothing more than to get back to playing with the team. I applied with the help of a representative from the EDD and believe that I did everything right." A local civil rights activist says McLean is not being given due process by the USC Athletic Department.
We're facing a global pandemic where times are tight. Students are struggling as well as their families. And it seems hypocritical that multi-million-dollar coaches can suspend struggling student athletes for using the law and the resources that are available to them to help uplift themselves so they can survive as well.
The university has issued the following statement about the investigation. Coach Helton has told his team not to engage in rumors, to focus on football, and to always do the right thing. If a player or his family chooses to address the media concerning a matter that is under investigation, that is entirely their decision. USC remains committed to supporting its exceptional student-athlete community.
Before we get started, I want to alert everybody that I cannot and will not comment on the recent LA Times article or anything related to the topic due to privacy laws. I will reference you to the university statement that was released yesterday.
Several other USC football players will be asked to answer questions under oath about what they know about McLean, the situation, and the filing for the EDD benefits.
Thousands are being evacuated after 2 fires broke out in Orange County today. Both are fueled by the strong Santa Ana winds, estimated at 20 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts up to 70 miles per hour. The Silverado fire in Irvine has burned more than 4,000 acres since it broke out this morning. More than 60,000 people are under evacuation orders. We spoke to a CAL FIRE spokesman about the severity of this fire season and a UCLA student who is evacuating.
I woke up to sirens going crazy all over the neighborhood. Definitely anxious and kind of worried. The sky's literally orange. That's why I keep looking outside. Every time I look out the window, it's getting more orange. And I'm oh, it's probably getting closer. And I can smell the smoke literally in my room. So I think we're planning on gonna leave in an hour or two, just for our health measures in terms of the air quality, because it's pretty bad here.
Right now, we're not able to use aircraft because the winds are just too strong. We are seeing wind gusts in some areas of upwards of 80, even 90 miles an hour. These are hurricane level winds. So as we move into the more traditional Santa Ana season, we're definitely bracing for what could be a continued busy couple of weeks and even busy couple of months for us.
High winds have temporarily grounded water-dropping helicopters. 2 firefighters have been critically injured in the fire. UC Irvine has suspended all campus operations, and all schools in the Irvine Unified School District will be closed tomorrow.
Countless Nigerians have taken to the streets to fight against unjust police brutality from the special anti-robbery group known as SARS. The hashtag #EndSARS has been trending on Twitter in solidarity with their fight for civil rights. We spoke to a Nigerian fashion designer who uses her brand as a platform to spread awareness in the SARS protest, and a USC Nigerian alum about her involvement.
I'm here in the US. I've been seriously emotionally, psychologically affected by everything that I see on the internet. People have lost their lives just for asking for a better, safer government, a better, safer place to live and thrive in, So it's bigger than me, it's bigger than you. It's really, really serious. So I'm glad that we have this platform to continue to spread the news.
Being a Nigerian brand, I feel like it's really my duty that anybody, even in general, just with my personal life, I feel like anybody that comes in contact with me in America should leave, with a different perspective of where I come from.
Protests and vigils are taking place in major U.S. cities. Fundraisers and social media posts are also spreading awareness.
Hi, I'm Carlo Jiménez, reporting from Campbell, California, with today's sports. USC football held another weekend scrimmage at the Coliseum, which means we are 1 week closer to the start of the season. Helton said he was very impressed with how his defensive backs limited big plays as well as Keaton Slovis's growth this offseason.
We went from some explosive plays in scrimmage 1 to hardly any in scrimmage 2. He's making every throw on the field. I mean, he's making back shoulder throws 35 yards down the field, and everybody on the field goes, whoa.
The season is just 12 days away as the Trojans look toward ASU this week. That's all for USC football. Now let's toss it to Rachel Grode for all things Dodgers.
Thanks, Carlo. The Dodgers are 1 win away from their 7th World Series win, and things are looking good. The Dodgers overcame a shocking loss in Game 4 of the World Series to take back the lead in Game 5 Sunday night. The Dodgers currently lead the series 3-2 and are gunning for the win on Tuesday night. Dodgers pitcher Tony Gonsolin will take the mound in Game 6. After 2 killer homers from Jock Peterson and Max Muncy, the Dodgers have proved how versatile and strong their roster truly is. This morning, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said that he's trying to not think about the possibility of winning the World Series.
I just really don't let my mind go there. I'm kind of just taking today as an off day, and then as the day goes on, I'll start thinking about Game 6, and that's really all I'm thinking about.
I'm rejoined by Carlo to talk more about the Game 6 predictions for the World Series. Carlo, what are your thoughts on this upcoming game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Rays taking Game 6. You got Blake Snell on the mound as a former Cy Young Award winner. He dominated them, only gave up 2 hits in Game 2. You got to also remember, Rachel, this is a Rays team that when their backs are against the wall, they have shown to perform. And lastly, it wouldn't be a Dodgers World Series without a little bit of a heart attack in a Game 7. So I think that's where Game 6 is going the Rays' way.
Well, Carlo, I got to take you on that heart attack comment because I think that the Dodgers fans had that one in Game 4 in the 9th inning. In my opinion, when you look at this team and you look at this game, unlike previous seasons, the Dodgers are taking their time and making sure that they rally even when they're down. We've had countless 2-out rallies this season, and it'll be interesting to see how they perform in this upcoming match. You also take a look at the lineup, you look at all-star players, and these are players that are persistent. They keep going and they push through. You have Corey Seager, the NLCS MVP this year. You have Clayton Kershaw, who has been at this for 3 World Series in a row. And you look at this team and you say, will their perseverance and determination get them through? Game 6 is tomorrow night at 5 p.m.
Now let's toss it to news.
The American Music Award nominations are out tonight. Roddy Ricch and The Weeknd lead the AMAs with 8 nominations, followed by Megan Thee Stallion with 5, and Bad Bunny, DaBaby, Doja Cat, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift with 4 nominations each. Fans can support their favorite artists and cast their votes at theamas.com/vote.
Tonight on Quarantine Creatives, a USC singer explains how the pandemic has helped her find her sound.
You said, look, don't touch, you don't know what that means. It must be rough seeing me in your dreams when you let the best one go to waste. Well, I'm not a waste girl, I am a chase girl. You can keep up.
After taking a quarantine break, Ella is back practicing with her band and working with producers to create music that reflects some of the changes that she's gone through.
As a musician, as a songwriter, but also just personally, and the growth that I kind of went through over quarantine was like hard work, but it totally changed me like as an artist and like my sounds, and I could see the vision of what I wanted to do, and I wrote a lot of music over quarantine. Like, this is the time to do things you've been meaning to do or to further pursue a passion that you might not have time for.
To keep her fans engaged during the pandemic, Ella started a live session on Instagram and expects to debut her newest song on Friday. Honestly, Lauren, I actually checked out her music on Instagram and she's really good.
Right? I'm really looking forward to her new song coming out this week.
Yeah, I actually got a sneak peek and it was so amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, that wraps it up for us on this Monday. Thanks for tuning in.
From all of us at Annenberg TV News, have a good night.